In the quiet hamlet of Ndlovu, nestled between the rocky ridges of eastern Damba, life was measured not in years but in survival. Adanna was born into poverty so deep it wrapped itself around her like the morning mists that clung to the hills. Her family lived in a crumbling clay hut at the village's edge, its thatched roof patched with old plastic bags and palm leaves that rustled with every gust of wind. When the rains came, they slept sitting upright, dodging drips from above. Water came from a distant stream, an hour's walk through bush paths lined with whispering bamboo and sharp grasses. Meals were inconsistent, dictated by the goodwill of neighbors or what could be bartered from Mama Ndlovu's vegetable stall in the weekly market. Her father, once a cobbler of repute, now limped from a failed fall during a construction job. He took any work he could, carrying timber, clearing bush, hauling goods, for a handful of tamba coins. Her mother sold roasted cassava and sometimes firewood just to buy a bowl of millet or a little cooking oil. Adanna, the eldest of 5, grew up watching her mother stretch nothing into enough. Clothes were mended until they barely held together. School fees were a community project, contributions made by neighbors, bartered vegetables, and a quiet plea to the headmaster. But Adanna had something that didn't cost a coin: brilliance. From the moment she stumbled through her first sentence in a tattered alphabet book, her world shifted. Words gave her wings. While other children played in the red dust or fetched water, she buried herself in books, borrowed and hand-me-downs. She studied by candlelight, her eyes squinting against the flicker, swatting at mosquitoes and fanning off the heavy night air. Her teachers whispered among themselves, calling her the girl with the fire mind. So when the acceptance letter to Bakatwa National University arrived, carried by the village courier who danced down the road with the envelope raised high, everyone celebrated. They slaughtered a chicken. They danced under the moonlight. She was to be the first from Ndlovu to leave for the city. She arrived in the capital city of Zefala with a borrowed suitcase, a stack of dry groundnuts, and a heart full of dreams. The city was loud, fast, overwhelming, but her purpose was clear. Adanna excelled. Professors spoke of her with reverence. She made top marks, asked sharp questions, and stayed far from the distractions of city life. Her focus was singular: earn a degree, get a job, and lift her family from the mud. She shared a hostel room with Nia, a bold, big-hearted law student from the lakeside city of Anjua. Nia introduced her to modern city life: spoken word cafes, church groups, art galleries, and eventually her brother Zuberi. Zuberi was everything Adanna wasn't: confident, rebellious, magnetic. He studied mechanical engineering but partied harder than he studied. He had a deep voice, a wounded laugh, and a past soaked in chaos. Nia called him a tragedy with cheekbones. Still, Adanna fell. They spoke at length about literature, pain, the price of dreams. He made her feel seen, not just smart. One night, under a banyan tree behind the Fine Arts building, everything changed. Words turned to touches. Promises whispered like secrets in the dark. That night, Adanna gave him not just her body, but her belief in love. Weeks later, Zuberi vanished. Calls unanswered, messages ignored. When she saw him again, he was with another girl. He barely looked at her. Adanna buried herself in her studies once more, her pain hidden, her resolve hardened. She graduated with first-class honors. Her name was etched in the University Hall of Fame. A prestigious architecture firm in Zefala offered her a job. Her first paycheck sent new roofing home to Ndlovu. Her parents cried over the new mattress she bought them. Then the illness began: fatigue, weight loss, a burning fever. She was misdiagnosed multiple times: malaria, anemia, typhoid. At last, a private clinic revealed the truth: HIV positive. The world stopped. Her heart collapsed into itself. How? Why? Zuberi's face came back to her like a curse. She said nothing to anyone. She stopped answering calls. She took leave from work and lay in her bed, trying to disappear. Her dreams mocked her. Her ambitions turned to ash. Who would want a woman like her now? But slowly, Adanna began treatment. The drugs steadied her body, but not her soul. One of her directors, Mrs. Adebayo, a warm woman with eyes that saw too much, introduced her to her son, Malik, a gentle man with a soft voice and a deep kindness. Malik saw her, really saw her, her wit, her strength, her quiet defiance. He fell for her, and in time she allowed herself to fall back. He proposed after a year. She said yes. As part of their marriage preparations, they underwent premarital testing. Adanna knew what was coming. She prayed for a miracle. The counselor looked at her, grief carved into his face. Malik stared at the paper, then at her. "You knew and said nothing?" She tried to speak, but her mouth betrayed her. The wedding was cancelled. Adanna fell. She stopped going to work. Her phone rang endlessly. Nia, her parents, her boss. But she let them all echo into nothing. She wandered the city like a ghost. One night, numb and weightless, she stepped into a busy road. Darkness. She woke up in a white room with a doctor sitting by her side. "You've been through war," he said softly, "but you're still breathing." Therapy began. She spoke, she raged, she wept. Slowly, she began her medication again. The fog lifted, but not the ache. She no longer believed in love, or justice, or hope. She believed in retribution. She applied for a master's degree at Bakatwa. Her record guaranteed entry. When asked about her career goal, she wrote, "To rewrite the narrative." She returned to campus more poised, more polished, more magnetic than ever. Students admired her. Lecturers praised her. No one knew her war. But now, Adanna was fire, and fire devours. She seduced, she whispered, she took what she wanted, she never told, the same way she hadn't been told. 3 men, 3 unwitting carriers. She told herself it was balance, justice. Then, one day, a call came. Zuberi was dead. It hit harder than she imagined. Not from love, but from history. He was the spark, the start. His death was a period at the end of her sentence. She sat in her room, shaking. The faces of the men she had hurt haunted her, not as enemies, but as humans. She was not whole, but neither was she evil. She walked into the same clinic from years ago, the same reception desk, the same doctor. "I want to stop," she said. They didn't shame her. They handed her a notebook. "Write," she wrote, every day, about Ndlovu, about Zuberi, about dreams turned to wounds, about silence and fury. She wrote her pain into pages, then her pages into a proposal, a center for young women, for health education, for safety, for truth. She called it the flame that heals. And though her wounds hadn't fully closed, they no longer bled. She was not whole, but she was becoming.